Hey, it's the Midnight Raven, and today we're doing another ghost story called The Skulls of Calgarth. If you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm the Midnight Raven. I'm just in a kind of nice, fashionable summer, spooky way today. It is still quite warm in the UK. If you're enjoying this heat wave, comment down below because I certainly aren't. So today we're doing The Skulls of Calgarth. This is a ghost story, again with a little bit of spook, a little bit of tense, a little bit of So I hope you're going to enjoy this. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you want to support the channel in any way, all the links to my super chat, PayPal, super thanks, and memberships all in the description. Let's get into the video. So, wealthy Miles Phillipson owned huge tracts of a picturesque English Lake District countryside around Windermere during the 16th century. He was never satisfied with the extent of his empire, always seeking new acres of land to add to his estate. He had eyed up a small farm of Craister and Dorothy Cook. This overlooked a beautiful lake, and he decided he wanted the plot of land to build a luxury new mansion on. So, is greed and wealth going to be his demise? We shall see. So, the Cook's family didn't want to sell the farm. They'd lived there for many years, they had a home, a loving family, and they didn't want to move. Miles gave them, obviously, a generous offer, being a very wealthy man, but they refused to sell the farm to him. So Miles decided to build some bridges. They'd invite the couple for Christmas dinner. So the Cooks had enjoyed a good meal, good chat, and good wine. The next day, after a nice evening, he then gave them a golden bowl as a gift for thanking them for coming over for Christmas, and they were to take it as a Christmas present. So, the day after, soldiers came to their house and arrested them. And this seemed very, very wrong, but they went along with it. They had no idea what was going on. Police questioned them on a golden bowl that had been stolen from the Mileses' home. Conclusions were that Miles had set up the couple to get them out of the property. So, the bowl was stolen and they were both sentenced to death for stealing. The couple were hung days later. Now, I don't know about you, but wow. They were hung for stealing a bowl, but back then in the day, thievery was not well looked upon, and you could be killed for stealing an egg, let alone a gold bowl from somebody's house. So the soldiers put these two to death, which left their then plot of land vacant. Miles would then buy the land and would build his luxury mansion. To celebrate, they would throw an amazing Christmas party the next year to celebrate. He had his neighbours and friends over, and no expense was spared on this lavish party they were having. But a terrible scream was heard from upstairs. Miles's wife went upstairs, and over the banister were two grinning skulls just floating there, as you do. She went back to tell her husband of what she had seen, and she grabbed the skulls off the banister, took them outside, and threw them into the garden, claiming that tricksters had obviously played a prank on the house. Which is fair enough, but it's not Halloween, it's not April Fools. Okay, we'll go with that. They were pranksters. So the night carried on, and she went to bed early. Then more screams were heard, and the skulls were back sitting on the banister. Again, screams were heard throughout the house. Miles awoke and rushed to the stairs, and the skulls were back in the house, floating above the banister. So the next day, Miles kept trying to get rid of the skulls. He would throw them out of the house and they would arrive back in. The skulls seemed to be haunting the house. Now, as the news spread across the town that this couple was supposedly being haunted and pranked on by people, the news spread that the couple's business had also started to decline. They were spending a lot of time fixating on the fact that they were being pranked and tricked, but they hadn't come to the conclusion that their house was actually being haunted. So Miles died, and he was a broken man, but the skulls were still in the house even after Miles died, and would continue to haunt the new owners after his wife had moved out after Miles had died. So the new house owners were also haunted. It's like the skulls wanted their house back. So only when the family became poor and had to sell the house, the skulls would leave the building in peace. So whether the skulls were haunting the land of where their old house used to be, whether they were haunting the house because it was owned by Miles, or whether they were haunting it just for the sake of getting people off their land, would seem to be the reason, because once the house had gone that Miles had built, the haunting stopped. So obviously they were angry at Miles, they were angry at his wife, they were angry at the fact they'd built a house on their land, and once the house was taken down and sold and it was destroyed, people then didn't see any hauntings anymore. The ghosts were obviously linked to the new house that was built, and once Miles had died and the house was then taken apart after being sold, the hauntings then stopped. So this is a very interesting tale of how greed doesn't necessarily get you what you want. You could end up 6 feet under due to your greed. So be mindful of how jealous you are of what other people have. There's a very good moral to this story of you being happy with what you have, or you could end up 6 feet under with jealousy. So if you want to like, subscribe, and give us a big thumbs up, comment down below if you're enjoying these ghost stories. I have many, many more if you'd like to hear them. There is a playlist as well. I will link that. These were the skulls of Calgarth. If you want to like and subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. If you want to see more content over on Instagram, I'll link my Instagram. And if you want to help support the channel, a PayPal, a super chat, a super thanks, or become a member and get extra videos every week. And I will see you very soon for another ghost story. Take care and thanks for watching. Bye guys.